He doesn't look quite right.
It's because he's so young.
Yeah.
He's not as filled out as Nathan Drake would normally be.
That's probably what it is. Like, if you cut the head off.
Oh, Jesus! All right, it's a little violent.
Well, what I mean by that is if you just like scroll down so you don't see that's him.
Yeah.
You're like the clothing looks like it should, and then it's like, oh, it's Tom Holland. He's very young looking.
Yeah, he's just not as big as you would expect Nathan Drake to be.
Yeah, but at least it's actually getting made.
Yep.
Which I'm happy about, but I certainly would have loved to have seen the Nathan Fillion version.
Right?
We all would, sir.
Him as a younger actor had the look.
Yeah, for sure. Dun, dun.
That's weird. Nolan North was on set.
Yeah. The voice of and the body of.
Yeah. It'd be cool if he made a cameo.
Yeah, you gotta have something in there for him.
Right?
Yeah, because remember, where is it? Yeah, here it is. So the movie itself is being taken from the part of the third game where Nathan Drake first meets Victor Sullivan, who's played by Mark Wahlberg in the movie.
Yeah, I haven't played that game yet.
You should. It's a good one.
They could do a fast forward to like end of the movie type of fast forward to later in life, and it'll be like Nathan Fillion cameo as Nathan Drake.
Maybe.
Retired version of Nathan Drake, gotten all fat and shit.
I don't know. Fillion's not fat because he stayed in shape for his Rookie Cop movie, TV show.
Good point. I haven't seen him in that yet. I think I saw like a couple of pictures or something like that, but I'm still remembering him from towards the end of what's it show?
Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely slimmer than Castle.
Okay.
Who's directing this now?
I saw it. Where is it? I thought I saw it at least.
Because I know they've gone through like a ton of directors on this movie.
Right.
Uncharted film. Oh, it's Ruben Fleischer.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's dope. Okay, cool.
Apparently he got hired on in February.
And they had a lot of, pretty powerful directors going up in this thing, and it just could not work out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take Ruben Fleischer for sure. Maybe
what
we
other
can.
stuff has he done?
This guy did both Zombieland movies, Venom, Gangster Squad, and 30 Minutes or Less.
So a lot of the stuff that he's directed is action with a bit of comedy.
Yeah, for sure.
So kind of perfect for this movie.
Yeah, and his action scene shooting is really well because obviously with Zombieland, they do a good job of framing up those action shots really well. So
yeah, they do.
So that'd be pretty fun. Might as well do the intro now since, we're kind of all here.
All right.
Comes naturally, we are
Joe.
I'm Cody, and joining us today is
Taj.
And again, the empty space we left there is for Mike's bitch ass who ain't here again.
Nope. Talking about the retired guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always a bridesmaid, never a
retired.
podcaster. Oh.
Tired his ass for good.
Oh, got him. What else we got here? News.
News?
News. news. Well, Joe and I saw this yesterday when we were out and about, and then I sent the article over. Jared Leto's returning to play Joker in the Snyder Cut of Justice League. And he's actually coming back to film actual footage.
I like
so that's pretty dope.
I like
know
it.
a lot of people have problems with that version of Joker, but it's just a different version of Joker.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, because I'm trying to... Was this the one I saw? Oh, yeah, so... shooting is currently underway with Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, and Amber Heard, among others that are involved in reshoots. And, of course, apparently now Jared Leto coming back to, do some Joker-y stuff, which would be pretty rad. Give him a chance to eat up some scenery. Get punched by Batfleck right in his fucking face.
Well, maybe give a better idea of what we saw in the original trailers as well. I remember how many people were, because wasn't it? Yeah, it was Justice League that had the Robin suit all painted over with the Joker stuff.
Yep.
So maybe we'll get an explanation of that as well.
Maybe,
because that was it. That was another thing that ended up on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, thanks, Joss.
One of a billion.
Yeah. Apparently, the other 3 hour and a half long stuff that fucking Snyder had ready to go.
Could literally probably just make an entire movie out of all the stuff that was cut.
Yep. I mean, that's essentially what they're doing, but with new stuff too. Because like he even said, I think it was during the DC thing, that fandom thing they did. Is like there's not a single shot in this new one, the Snyder Cut, that was shot without him. So none of the Joss Whedon stuff will be in the movie at all. So like it's going to be probably completely different everything, which is
completely
insane.
Different movie altogether.
Yeah, I mean 4 hours long, no less. I mean that's ridiculous.
Right.
Which is really what you need for something like this, anyways. Like look at Avengers. You had Avengers, with Endgame and everything. Like, those 2 movies are obviously part 1 and part 2.
Right.
And they're, 2.5 hours each or some nonsense, right?
At least.
Yeah.
So it's same idea. It's just, obviously now it's going to a streaming service versus the biggest screen. Let's see, how long was Infinity War? And how long was Endgame? Infinity War, 149 minutes. So what is that? 2 hours and 20, almost 2.5 hours, right? Yeah. Let's see. Where is Endgame? Endgame, 181 minutes. Yeah. So I mean, 3 hours and what is that? No, almost 3 hours, right? Because 3 hours would be
over 180.
Yeah, 180. God damn. It's ridiculous.
Math.
So, I mean, just those 2 movies alone, which, like I said, are part 1 and part 2, are over, they're 5 hours. They also took, 20 years to get to, or 10 years to get to. So, I mean, a long time in the making, if you know what I mean. They also did a little bit of money to pay for that amount of time, too. Since combined total of those 2 movies in box office, you're looking at almost $5 billion.
Jeez.
Not a bad day.
Yeah, I guess it could be worse. I don't know how it could be worse, but it could be worse. Oh my god, Quibi's shutting down. What a weird thing.
Lasted a whole 7 months, I think it was.
No one's sad about that.
Yeah, no way.
Except for who made Quibi?
Well, that's out a bunch of people.
Bunch of investors.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the people who were making content on Quibi will probably be a little sad. But at the same time, bring your stuff to an actual service.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like a couple days before that, because that was announced yesterday, I even saw a thing said, "Oh, you can get Quibi on your TV now," and I was going to send you the article about it, and I forgot about it because I was at work, and then this pops up. I'm like, well, never mind, because it doesn't really matter at that point.
Well, you've been able to do that for a month or two now.
Oh,
or
have
maybe
you?
even more, maybe a few more months than that. Yeah, they finally saw the error of their ways and decided to release it for bigger media consumption. But first off, you've already pigeonholed yourself into a mobile device setup. That's what you advertised yourself as. And two, I don't necessarily want to watch 10-minute episodes of something on a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do watch a lot of YouTube, but that's different. That I treat more as like stuff to play in the background while I do other stuff.
Yeah, it's not a story-driven content.
I'm literally not going to pay a service to play stuff that I'm not listening to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is dumb. And I haven't really heard anybody talk about anything because like nobody really like paid attention
no
to
one I
Quibi.
know has ever had any. It didn't have it. So how good the shows were, I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing on there, two things on there would be the Code 8 show, which I don't even know actually even started or not, and then the Fugitive with Kiefer Sutherland. Like the only things that I really care about.
I didn't even know about those.
Yeah.
The only ones I really heard about were the Kevin Hart one?
Yeah. Heart to Kill?
And Heart to Kill?
No, Die Hard. Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah.
That's what it was.
And wasn't Reno 911 also on there?
Yeah.
That was it. That's all I knew about.
Yeah, I was not really... I was like, that's not enough to, make me give two shits about it.
No, not at all.
Or anyone else for that matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Rich, apparently.
It's the closure.
Well, even like a month or so ago, I saw that they were looking to get bought out by somebody. And I was like, but who's going to want to buy this? I mean, like, you're already, obviously, if you're trying to get bought out, it means nobody's watching your shit. Which means, at this point, what are the investors going to invest in? Nothing? The fact that it's going to go away?
Well,
yeah, you don't buy a house on fire.
The only thing that I would say that they could invest in is if they could buy the rights to the shows, and then you could just stitch the shows together to make actual episodes. So you could literally stitch 3 Die Hard episodes together and get a half-hour show.
But if you also...
Now, how many episodes are there, I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing, too, is you could also just wait for it to shutter and then buy the properties you want and do that same thing.
Possibly.
And it'd be probably
pay
cheaper.
less of a premium for it as well because now it's, unowned property.
You're not buying all that other junk that you don't care about, like those weird game shows they had and like the fucking, like the Chrissy Teigen court show or whatever.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
I mean, you could do what Amazon did with The Expanse. They just waited until Sci-Fi's like, nah, we're not going to do anything with it. And they're like, bottom barrels, prices, give us. And then, turned out even a better show than what Sci-Fi was doing with it, which is insane.
I can't wait for this December.
I know, right? It's going to be good. Going to be good. Do you guys see that Tim Burton's developing a live-action Addams Family show?
I just saw the headline. I didn't read it.
Yeah.
Is it
right person to do it, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, definitely. Was there any more information about it, or was it literally just the announcement of that?
So they announced the creative team behind it. It's the guys who basically wrote and show-run Smallville, Alfred Goh and Miles Miller. Which I used to believe his name was pronounced Millar because it's spelled just like Millar, but I found out that's actually Miller. Anyhow, so basically it's going to be set in modern time somehow, whatever, doesn't matter how it's going to be done because that's kind of what the new animated movie, which Paige and I just watched the other night, did, is they set it in a modern era.
How was it?
It was actually pretty funny. They did a lot of making fun of themselves, obviously, in a tongue-in-cheek way. The one critique I have about it is in 13 years, the whole premise of the movie is they get run out of their homeland because they're monsters, them and their entire Addams family, extended family. And so they travel to find a new land, and they stumble upon this dreary, down in the dumps looking area known as New Jersey. And they find an
entire state, yes.
Yeah, they find an old abandoned mental institution where actually Lurch comes from. And they just basically take over, and that's why you hear the house has a voice, because it's apparently haunted and whatever. So that's the whole thing, but it's on top of a hill, and they spend their entire life there for 13 years after they have Wednesday and Pugsley, but they never let them leave the house in the grounds because there's a fog from the marsh that is uninhabitable. It turns out that a town was developed outside of the marshlands. They dried it up, and it caused the fog to evaporate, and that town has real people in it, and it's modern day, and it's all being built by this chick who runs one of these home improvement shows, and she's basically renovated this whole town to sell all the homes, and then she finds out about the Addams family and tries to run them out of town. Essentially their plot. But the only problem is the fact that, like, in 13 years, there was never a time where the fog wasn't clear enough for them to see that they were building a city down below them. I was like, that's kind of
super
dumb.
foggy.
Yeah, real foggy, right? So I was like, that's the only thing that, like, bothered me. I was like, you're trying to tell me, like, because even like Gomez and Morticia were like shocked there's a town down there. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that can't be quiet. But whatever.
Pretty good insulation in the house,
I guess. But it's pretty fun.
Do you think that they would just take Oscar Isaacs and shuffle him over to the live action, since he did the voice of Gomez?
Maybe he did a really good job of Gomez. And it's cool because they styled them after the more cartoonish version of the Addams family from the old days, where Gomez is more of a portly dude. But the voice cast in it was fantastic. Charlize Theron as Morticia, Finn Wolfhard as Pugsley. You had what's her name? Hit Girl played Wednesday.
Oh, really? What the hell's her name?
Chloe Moretz something or other.
Yeah, Chloe Moretz.
Yeah, whatever her name is. Her. But the one that shocked me, though, the voice thing that I didn't know was in it, was Snoop Dogg.
Lurch.
He played Cousin It.
Really?
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
But you never actually hear his voice. It's always sped up in that high pitchedness. But you can, as you hear it, you can tell it's him because of his cadence. They just change the pitch of the voice. But he drives up in a lowrider, and he's got like a pimp hat on and a chain and shit. It was hilarious. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, it was really funny.
Just to think about. Yeah,
there's some funny stuff in it. And I mean, it did well enough. I guess they're making a sequel for next year. So
nice.
But yeah, no, this. I mean, yeah, the there's no mention really of where it's going, but apparently it's made by MGM Television because that's who owns the rights to it. But
about the live action? Yeah,
because that's who owns the rights to the Addams family. So clearly they want to do more with it than just an animated show. And I mean, it would be cool to see them bring that cast up, but I don't think they could tie down Charlize Theron and Oscar Isaac for long enough to do a TV show. I don't think.
You never know. I mean, a lot of stars are doing these, series, these like Netflix type series things now. So I mean, you never know.
It's true. Maybe she's tired of doing awesome movies and wants to do some live action stuff.
Definitely seems realistic.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
She's not doing Furiosa, right?
No, because it's a prequel.
Right. So I mean, they already pissed her off once.
Yeah. What else?
That was a horrible idea, by the way. I mean, I get, prequel, whatever. But even then, not having her as Furiosa is crazy to me.
Yeah, plus
infuriating.
Infuriating.
I see what you did there.
The other thing too is to me, what gets me about it is the Furiosa I want to watch is that version of Furiosa, not how she got to that
not
point.
A younger.
Yeah, like unless she was always a fucking one-armed badass ever when she was little too. Like that's the I want to see that Furiosa fucking wreck people. You know what I mean?
Bald, blackface ish.
Yeah, dude, just fucking people up, shooting motherfuckers in their chromed out jaws and shit. I don't know. It's very
because that was Zach Miller, right?
Zach Miller?
No, who? Not Zach.
You got half the name right.
It's fuck. Sorry.
I'll give you a hint. His first name is also the first name of our first president.
Oh, okay, George.
Yeah.
Is he doing the Furiosa movie as well?
Mm-hmm. I believe yes.
Yeah.
Because he owns outright the property of Mad Max.
Okay.
He's writing it, and I believe he's directing it as well. Yeah. There was a reason. I'm trying to find it. There was a reason why he didn't end up going with Charlize Theron, and I cannot remember what it was.
Whatever it is, not a good reason. Simple.
It's true. And hence.
I hate you.
Did you guys watch that video I sent of The Rock for the Young Rock TV show?
I did not watch it yet.
Nope. It's nothing. I mean, it's nothing. It doesn't show any of the show because they haven't actually started filming it yet. I don't think. But all it is basically him explaining what he's doing with it, and the fact that it's being made by the guy who did the Fresh Off the Boat show. But he does talk about what it's basically the show takes place and tells 3 different timelines of his life when he was basically when he was younger, and he even says like, I mean, he's like, there's stuff that nobody knows about my life. And that the media never does, and I've never shared before. Like the fact that I was a 15-year-old kleptomaniac with a terrible mustache, and they show a picture of him, and I'm looking at him like, that's a 15-year-old, because that looks like a 27-year-old.
That's weird because he was very much baby-faced when he first got into WWF at that time. I think it was still the F at that time. He was a baby-face with a shitty fucking little.
The head of
hair thing that he had on top of his head for, his Rocky Maivia days.
Yep.
So I found it. He didn't. They didn't recast Charlize Theron because he didn't want to do CG de-aging on her.
So then don't do a prequel.
Well, yeah.
Well, they said that they didn't even intend to write the prequel. They just wrote up her story so that Charlize Theron had an idea of where this character came from. But they liked it so much that they went ahead and wrote a screenplay for it. And it sounds like they wanted to get Charlize to come back, play the younger version of her, but there would just be so much digital de-aging that Miller just doesn't think that the technology is quite there yet.
That just burns.
It does suck just because she was awesome in that character, but
just fantastic.
Oh, Joe, that was loud.
Oh, sorry.
Your protein ball.
Louder for Cody than for Taj because I don't have you right in my ears.
That shit spiked loudly. So are either of you gonna watch the Borat movie, the new one?
Probably not. No.
Doubt it.
I watched that trailer and I was like, I don't know if I can handle this again.
I struggled through the first Borat, really.
I mean, yeah, I guess I did too, really.
I didn't struggle through it. I didn't watch it.
Period.
Well, that does make it easy not to struggle through it, Joe.
True.
It does, doesn't it?
Yep.
What's the release date on that? Because they're still shooting it, right?
No, it's done. He shot it. He shot it.
Oh, it is?
They did a guerrilla shoot again because they didn't want to announce when they're doing it, and it's. I want to say I think it's up on Prime Video.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I shall avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, I probably will as well. even though I've seen the clip of him and Giuliani.
Oh, did you see the? Yeah, it's out now on the Prime videos.
Mm-hmm.
But did you see the clip of him on Kimmel where he kept poking him in the dick with his social distancing stick?
I saw a picture. I didn't see the actual clip.
Yeah, he goes, so he comes out as Borat, like, cause he normally does, and he's like just poking him right in the dick to keep him like 6 feet away, but he keeps getting closer to him, like he's the one getting closer, and I was like, this fucking guy's a genius.
Right?
So ridiculous. But there was I was reading a thing about it. I don't know where it's at now because it was a bunch of days ago. But he had to wear a bulletproof vest 3 days worth of shooting.
Well, because one of the places that he shot at was a Trump rally where he plays, where his character in order to get on stage is a racist country singer. If I recall right. Yep,
something like that.
Yeah. And he's basically trying to incite the crowd. He kind of incited the crowd a little bit. And by the time the organizers realized what was happening, apparently the crew cheesed it into a fake ambulance and ran and drove out of there.
It's ridiculous, man.
Right?
Fucking stones on that guy.
Seriously.
Ooh,
he says.
Aaron Taylor Johnson's been added to Bullet Train, the movie starring Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Does he run around super fast in the movie?
No, I think the Bullet Train does that portion of it.
Nah.
They don't want to get sued for, copyright infringement.
I mean, look, there are plenty of people that can run fast. That's all I'm saying.
It's true. But I don't know what the movie's about, and it probably tells me in this article. I'm not going to read it, but I do know it's being directed by David Leitch, the guy who did Hobbs and Shaw, as well as Deadpool 1, right?
So clearly a guy who's got some talent.
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't know if there's anything else on here about the... I don't know. I didn't read the story. I just saw these in it, and I like Aaron Taylor Johnson, so... speaking of terrible news for Taj, did you see they're ending Fast and Furious with 10 and 11?
I did see that. Two more. One, next one's in fucking space or some shit like that.
Hopefully.
Clearly I'm going to watch it.
Yeah,
but I'm going to do it under protest.
Yeah, you got to support your boy Tyrese.
No.
Isn't he still in those?
Probably. Especially since, Hobbs is no longer in it, but Tyrese not my boy. No.
That's not what Mike said.
And Mike is never wrong.
See? Told you. Boom. I know we could talk about real quick.
All right.
Did both of you watch the Raya and the Last Dragon teaser trailer that I sent you?
Absolutely. And it looks fantastic.
Yeah, man, it looked really good.
Right.
Very excited for that movie.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, wow, this looks impressive. And then they had the whole, real sand. They shot real sand and put animated characters on top of it. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's like a Roger Rabbit moment. You have real sand. And then realized that's not real sand. It was CG. And I was like, oh, you done got me.
Like I said in the following text, it looks like you have Ninja Indiana Jones. I'm like, well, you sold me.
Yeah, right?
You sold me.
Fun little fucking potato bug sidekick thing that apparently grows to enormous sizes.
Grows to be able to ride it, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what this is, but I'm in. I don't care. Yeah, the trailer is pretty fun. Looks really actiony too.
When does it come out?
That's a great question, Joe. It's
March 12th, 2021.
Yeah, it comes out next March, buddy.
Clearly not anything that would be coming out this year because nothing's going to come out this year.
Nah. Speaking of actually movies that are coming out, as of time of recording, Justin and Aaron's movie has been in theaters for 2 hours.
Nice.
Because I believe the first showing I saw was like 6 something today, as early as that.
Is it getting released in Harkins?
Yeah, it's getting released in all the theaters, so we can go see it next week without having to rent a theater out.
Good, I like that.
I just like the thought of not having to drive to Tempe or go to AMC.
Well, exactly all of that. Just let me go to Harkins, my Harkins.
Yeah, exactly.
Right here.
Did you say white here?
I did not.
Oh, I was like, oh my god. Sounds like something Mike would say.
Right.
Okay, right. That's way better. I was like, Jesus.
I'll hold the R's from now on.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Oh, the new Tremors movie's on Netflix, by the way, already.
I don't want to talk about Tremors.
Movie?
The new Tremors movie we talked about last week.
Clearly, I'm
Mike?
still upset by
Or Joe,
the whole
remember?
Tremors debacle that we just had.
Blaster Island, is that what comes out?
Yeah, it's on Netflix already.
Yeah, I'm avoiding that.
Figured. Oh, I'm sorry. 7 o'clock is the soonest one. So an hour ago. Right there. Oh, went too far. Boom.
Boom.
In theaters.
Holla.
Holla.
And for those of us listening who don't know why I'm angry at Cody about anything Tremors related, we were playing a small little game of writing a very simplistic
Boring.
plot.
It said boring.
Was it boring?
It said
was the
boring.
word?
Yep.
Boring plot line for your favorite movie. And Cody chose Tremors, but his boring plot line was awful.
But it was boring.
But it was not even close to accurate.
It was.
There's
accurate.
no way we were going to get that out of that.
You should have known it was me.
Well, just because you're good at, making things ridiculous doesn't mean that we're ever going to
Yeah, I should be used to by now.
pull that.
It's not even making things ridiculous. It's just accepting the fact that I know that he's seen way more movies than me, so he could be pulling some sort of like artsy independent movie thing out from nowhere and just having fun at watching us squirm trying to figure out what the movie is.
But it said favorite movie. And y'all know my favorite movie is Tremors. You know my favorite. I drug you guys to go see it.
You know how many favorite songs you have? You know how many favorite songs you have?
First off, I have very few favorite songs. I have a lot of favorite jams.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, jams are something you're like, oh, what shit.
Fine. I will recant that and say jams.
There you go. I have a lot of those. More than I can count. But anyways, yeah. And my description was borderline terrible, and that's why I did it that way, because,
it was awful.
It was
Two plumbers.
No, I didn't. Fuck you. I did not say plumbers. If it was plumbers, it would have been Mario Brothers. I said two handymen.
Handymen, sorry. Two handymen.
Yeah. And what to go against for defending you guys, I should have said perfection to give you a better clue. Like the whole Nakatomi Tower.
Hint of what yes.
You know what I mean? Like they give you a little bit of a clue of what it is. Because really, if you, outside of spoilers, the giant worms, you want to talk about it, you just, it's going to be two handymen trying to get out of perfection and go to Bixby.
If you would have said perfection, perhaps that would have made
That's what I'm saying. And like I said, to defend your point of it being a terrible description, I should have put in something that did it. Because if you said, like, the Die Hard one, for example,
right.
like Nakatomi Tower, if you left that out, it could be fucking anything.
Yeah, it'd be impossible to fix.
So,
well, plus because his description was actually wrong of the movie as well.
Very, very true.
Right, because he didn't go to pick up his wife.
Exactly, he went to go join the party.
Yeah,
right.
But he put in Nakatomi Tower, which is a key point of the movie.
A giveaway.
So if I would have said perfection, then it would have been a better description.
Hard, but it would have been an area to go off of.
Yeah, it could have. It could have been dirty work.
Yes.
It was not dirty work.
Your version.
Mine was a little too vague, but it's still the most boring description of of Tremors you could possibly imagine. Because that's how things work. But I digress.
So next Wednesday we can see Synchronic either at a 2:15, a 4:45, or a 7:50.
I was literally just looking at that. I say we watch it. I'm gonna force Paige to watch the other ones before next week, so she can get caught up on the movies that don't actually conjoin.
So let's make sure we nail down a time. Oh wait, is that? Yeah, that's Australia Falls 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, nail down a time because I might have to have a couple things that I have to do that Wednesday.
Wednesday the 28th. Wednesday the 28th. I mean, if we shoot for a 4:45 p.m., the movie itself is an hour and 41 minutes. That gives enough time to watch it, get food, and then record about it that night.
That'd probably be a pretty good time. Yeah.
I won't be on that recording then,
But,
because
I mean,
I'm not going to be able to make a 4:45.
Yeah, sorry about that, buddy.
It's all right.
Hopefully fucking Mike will, but who knows? I don't know when that fucking wedding is.
Yeah, seriously.
What day is he a bridesmaid?
I have no idea.
Dear Mike.
I thought he was the flower girl.
Nah, he's more important than that. They don't give sneakers to flower girls.
Yeah, he's not sure.
They could. I've seen some, all out weddings that have really done it for the flower girl or the ring bearer. He could be the ring bearer for sure.
Does anybody know what he actually is doing in that?
Not
wedding?
a clue.
He's the best man.
He's the best man.
Yeah. Like, in honesty, he's the best man. Which is, maid of honor, I guess I really could call him, not a bridesmaid.
Yes,
They should, instead of calling it the best man, they should call him the guy of honor.
The dude of honor?
Dude of honor, yeah.
The dude of honor. All he's do is drinking fucking White Russians and complain about an Asian man pissing on his rug.
It sounds like Mike.
That's all I got, really, guys. I don't got nothing else.
I don't think I have anything.
Neither do I.
Ooh, Joe, I did download Doom Eternal finally.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, buddy.
I finally beat that today. That was awful.
Yeah, I saw you on there. I was playing some Destiny.
That was not good.
Yeah?
No.
By the end of that game, I was fucking hating it. I had two levels left today to do, which was part 1 and part 2 of the second to last level, and then the last level. And I fucking hated it so goddamn much. Even playing it on easy, it wasn't very easy towards the end there. And I think the thing that I hate about that game is probably what most people really like about that game, which are those giant arena battles that you end up in all the time.
Oh, yeah, just kill everything in sight until the timer is over?
Yeah, or until you clear the room and then move on. But that stuff just drags for me. And this one, just even on easy mode, they just right there at the end, the last 3-4 levels, they just throw big guy versus big guy after big guy after big guy after big guy at you, and it starts to grate on you, especially when you run out of ammo. And the thing that you do to get ammo is chainsaw the little guys. But if you don't give me little guys, then how do I get ammo? It became frustrating.
That is a little bit problematic.
Yeah. That was the Destiny 2 thing for a long time. You had to kill gold bars to get heavy ammo, but in order to kill the gold bar guys, you need heavy ammo.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You want me to you want me to have heavy ammo to kill the guys I need to get heavy ammo?
That are going to give you the heavy ammo.
But you don't give me heavy ammo to start with.
Nope.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Cool. Hey, peel this orange. You hand me an apple.
Yep.
And it's that thick-skinned red shit that doesn't peel.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the last couple levels were legit. I started because I played for a little bit at 12. I beat the first half of that one level. Then part 2, I started up at 1:30, I want to say, and I didn't finish until damn near 5 o'clock.
Oh, were you really playing that long?
Yeah, I was playing that long just because I just wanted to finish it. It was so many times I wanted to throw my controller against the wall because it was just so frustrating and so awful.
You wanted to munger it,
towards the end there. I wanted to munger it. Yeah.
Taj, did we ever tell you a story about Munger and burying a controller in his wall?
No.
So Eric got so mad. So for the folks who've been long-time listeners, Babyface Munger we're talking about. So he used to make fun of our friend Jack all the time because Jack once got so mad at Madden that he twisted a PlayStation controller in half. Because Jack went perfect season up until the Super Bowl was like literally halfway through the fourth quarter, and then the game, the computer basically just wiped the floor with him, and he lost the Super Bowl. And he got so mad that he literally twisted the controller in half. And this is Madden where you don't play like it's the thing where you play on a schedule. You don't play like all the games in one day. So this is like weeks of building up of playing the actual game to make it to the Super Bowl, and they fucking just ruin him, and he's twisting the controller. So Eric used to make fun of him. Well, one day, Eric was at work buying a controller, and I was like, what happened to your controller? He's like, oh, it broke. Later, like a couple weeks later, we're at his house doing a party or whatever, having a get-together, and I see this indentation on the wall, and this is an Xbox 360 controller. And if you remember those, when you look at the top of the controller, you have the shoulder buttons and the triggers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a genuine Xbox controller, if you have the genuine Microsoft battery in it, has a little like oval that has a holographic sticker on it that says it's a licensed Xbox product, right? He threw this controller so hard, it hit the wall. That oval you could see in the imprint on the wall. So for anyone who doesn't know what that is, Google an Xbox 360 controller and look at the design on it, and you probably have to look at the battery too, because that is not a deep indentation for that sticker. It's like shallow, but you could literally. I walked over the controller and I put it into it, like it fit perfectly, like sword in the stone. And the trigger imprint was there, the shoulder button, and that little indentation from the battery compartment with that oval you could see in the wall.
The best part is that dent is probably still there because the last party that we had there, which was a few years ago, he just put something in front of it.
The water cooler.
The water cooler. He didn't patch it over. He just put a water cooler in front of it.
Seems realistic.
Yeah.
Or reasonable.
Right?
So most likely, I'm going to try to, if we ever go there again, I'm going to try to remember to look. I'm like, move this water cooler. Impression of a 360 controller. Anyhow, that's it for this week's episode of Comes Naturally. We are
Joe.
I am Cody, and again, we were joined by
Taj.
All right. That's it, fellas. As usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Yeah.